Hello, my friends. I hope everybody is doing well today. Did you have a good weekend? I hope so, because there was something special going on this weekend. Do you remember? Yesterday was Mother's Day. I hope you did something nice for Mom. I want to hear all about it. So let's get busy. Do I have my pointer? Yes, I do. Excellent. Ready? Let's count. Count with me, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was the last time we were together. 8. Did you say number 8? What do you think an 8 is going to be? Is it going to be a green or pink kite or a sun? Did you say 8 was a green kite? There you go. That was our first day off. We had another day off. Mother's Day was on number 9. That was yesterday. Uh-oh. Where's my number 9? I have to look quickly. Let's see. My numbers are not here. There it is. Let's see. There goes number 9. And that was yesterday. And what would 10 be? I just gave you the answer. What not? What? Well, it's number 10. I told you number 10. What goes here? Did you say, let's see, that was a pink. What comes after pink? Did you say a sun? Number 10 was a sun. So today is Monday, May 10th, 2021. We're just zooming along this month. It is already May 10th. Can you believe it? And we're definitely working on our letters. So, do you know what this week's letter is? We just finished W. What's next? Do you have to sing the song to figure it out? Let's see. It would be an X. X makes this sound. X. It's really hard. It makes some other sounds too. We'll talk about it in a minute. But an X is a little bit tricky because it's only 2 lines, but they have to cross each other. So you start in the corner and you go down on a diagonal, jump back up, go down on a diagonal. You don't stop. And then check this out. Lowercase is just a smaller one. Practice those. They're a little tricky. You got to go all the way down and jump up and all the way down. That's a letter X. There's not a lot of words that start with letter X. I don't have a lot of books that start with letter X. So I brought a couple. This book actually is The Sound of X. There are a lot of words that end in X, not a lot that start. So this we'll do later in the week when we talk about the actual sound. And then I brought this. When you have a picture taken of you and you can see inside and see your bones, do you know what that's called? Do you know what that's called? It's called an X-ray. X-ray. And of course, we all know when pirates are looking for their treasure, they have to find X marks the spot, right? That happens too. And let me think what else. I have this box. It ends with the letter X, but it's a letter X box. And there's a couple things in here that start with the letter X. And you'll know some of them. Check this out. Do you know what it is? You might even have one of these. It's a little bit of a younger toy. If you have a younger brother or sister, you might have one of these. You might still have one of these from when you were a little younger. It's a xylophone. Isn't that cool? I have a xylophone we'll look at later this week. And then we just talked about this one. An X-ray. If they ever thought you broke something, they would take an X-ray to see your bones. And then last but not least, you may not know this one. Do you know what this is? It's called an X-ray fish. So there is such a thing called an X-ray fish. So we'll be working on that later. So X is tricky because it doesn't really have a good sound, but it does end a lot of words with the letter X. And letter X is a good week to do some review. So I did bring another Dr. Seuss book. This book is from when my kids were little. It's a little beat up, but it has all the sounds of all the letters. So review with me. Let's check it out. This is Dr. Seuss's ABCs. Big A, little a, what begins with A? Aunt Annie's alligator, A. Big B, little b, what begins with B? Barber, baby, bubbles, and a bumblebee. What's next? Big E, little e, what begins with E? Ear, eat, egg, elephant, E. Big F, little f, what begins with F? 4 fluffy feathers on a pfeffer, feff. Big G, little g, what begins with G? Goat and goo goo goggles, G. That was very silly. Big K, little k, what begins with K? Kangaroo and kite, K. Big L, little l, what begins with L? That's my letter. Lion with a lollipop, L. Which one's your letter? Big M, little m, what begins with M? Mice in the moonlight, M. Big N, little n, what begins with those? 9 new neckties, nightshirt, nose. Big O, little o, what begins with O? Ostrich, oil, orange, owl. That was a weird one. Big P, little p, what begins with P? Painting some pajamas pink, P. Big Q, little q, what begins with Q? The quick queen of Quincy and her quacking quackaroo. What animal quacks? Big R, little r, what begins with R? Rosie's red rhinoceros, R. Big S, little s, what begins with S? Sammy's sipping soda pop, S. Big T, little t, what begins with T? 10 tired turtles on a tuttle tree. Big U, little u, what begins with U? Uncle Ub's umbrella and his underwear, too. That was silly. Big V, little v, what begins with V? Verna, Vera, Vin, and her violet violin. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Verna, Vera, Vin, and her violet violin. Big W, little w, what begins with W? Willie's in the wash tub, washing Waldo, too. Oh, that's silly. Big X, oh, here's our letter. This one's a little beat up there. Big X, little x, what begins with X? X-ray and xylophone, X. We knew those ones. Big Y, little y, what begins with Y? A yawning yellow yak with Yolanda on his back. That's silly. Looks like she's yodeling. Big Z, little z, what begins with Z? A zizzer, zazzer, zuzz, as you can plainly see. The end. Isn't that a silly story? So it's not a letter X story, but it's a great week to review our letters because there's not a lot to do with X. So that was a good story. And I was thinking, those are our only 2 words. So the xylophone, which is lots of music, and an X-ray. And an X-ray made me think, we should do our body parts. So join me, friends, to do head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So stand up. Ready? Touch all the parts. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Faster. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Faster. Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Whew, that was fast. You guys know a lot of body parts. So if you ever got an X-ray, they'd be able to see the bones inside. Isn't that silly? I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye-bye, friends.